Welcome to The Explainer, where we turn data into stories. Today, we are digging into the latest global report from the International Renewable Energy Agency, because we want to know, where does the world really stand in the race for clean energy?
Right, it's a massive question, and it pretty much defines our future. But you know, the real answer isn't in headlines or promises, it's in the hard numbers. So let's just see what the data has to say about the last 10 years. And the first number is a big one. Between 2015 and 2024, the world's installed renewable energy capacity per person shot up by over 92%. That's not just a little bump. We've nearly doubled our green energy footprint for every single person on the planet. And we did it in less than a decade.
Now, this wasn't some slow and steady climb. It was more like a period of explosive acceleration. And as you're about to see, it's a story of some serious momentum.
Okay, so what's really fascinating here is the story this timeline tells. Just look at the jumps between the years. See that? The increase from 2021 to 2024 is way bigger than the one from 2015 to 2018. It shows the pace of growth is actually speeding up, and it's doing so dramatically in just the last few years.
That huge increase isn't spread evenly across all the different technologies. I mean, yeah, sources like wind and hydropower are absolutely crucial, but the data shows one technology in particular has just completely rewritten the energy map. It's responsible for the lion's share of this growth.
To really get a handle on this growth, you have to understand the solar revolution. The numbers are almost hard to wrap your head around, and they all point to one part of the world as the undeniable star player here.
The data reveals this story of just incredible scale, and it's focused with laser precision. So when we talk about the global solar boom, we are, overwhelmingly, talking about the historic expansion that happened across Asia. Just look at these numbers. This isn't just growth, it's an explosion. We're talking about going from around 90,000 megawatts in 2015 to over 1.1 million megawatts by 2024. That's more than a 12-fold increase in 9 years. It's an industrial scale-up like we've never seen before.
And as massive as Asia's growth has been, the story gets even more concentrated. To really get the scale of this solar revolution, we've got to zoom in on the one single dominant powerhouse that's been driving these numbers through the roof.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? China, by itself, accounts for over 3/4 of all solar capacity in Asia. Just let that sink in for a second. The rest of this massive, dynamic continent, combined, makes up less than 1/4 of the total. That's a truly staggering figure, and it's absolutely central to the whole global renewable story.
So this incredible concentration of solar power in Asia, and specifically in China, it creates a totally new dynamic in the global energy landscape. It's shifting the balance of power, literally.
And here it is. This is the comparison that really puts everything into perspective. Asia's solar capacity just by itself is now larger than the total renewable capacity of all of Europe combined. We're talking Europe's wind, hydro, bioenergy, the whole shebang. This is a huge moment in the global energy transition.
But here's the crucial point. This growth story, as incredible as it is, it's not happening everywhere. The map of renewable energy is becoming one of really sharp contrasts. You've got some regions leaping forward, while others are just getting started on their journey.
So what's fueling development in the parts of the world that are trying to catch up? Well, to understand that, we have to look at a key driver: public finance. Basically, we need to follow the money. Now, these aren't just your typical commercial loans. This is targeted international support. You can think of it as the world's investment in building a sustainable energy future, especially in those economies where that investment can make the biggest possible difference. And the data for 2023 is pretty clear. Asia got the biggest slice of this public funding pie with over $7.7 billion. And Africa was a close second with nearly $6.5 billion. This really highlights that the global focus is on helping build out renewable infrastructure in these key developing regions.
Okay, so we've looked at the growth, the technology, the regional players, and the money. Let's kind of pull back now and sum up what this data dive really tells us about where our energy world is today.
So what's the big picture here? The data is showing us a global energy transition that's happening at an incredible speed, and it's being powered overwhelmingly by the sun. But it's also a story of deep inequality. It's creating new energy leaders and leaving others with a whole lot of ground to make up.
And that right there is the ultimate question this data leaves us with. The progress is undeniable, right? The scale is historic.
But with the clock ticking on our climate goals, is this incredible transition happening fast enough? And is it reaching every corner of the globe that needs it? That's the question that's going to define the next decade of our planet's future.